Hello, good morning, people. How you doing? Hope you're all well. I really do. And yeah, I gotta do my hair. It's a mess. Um, yeah, so I want to talk today about what happens when you microdose psilocybin. There's something fascinating that happens, and it's very similar to when you're detoxing your liver or detoxing from anything or Lyme disease and so on, and you have neuroinflammation, especially because it's just weird how out of nowhere, um, yeah, you start remembering things like in a movie style. Say, for instance, there was something trapped when you were 8 years old and you didn't remember, you didn't even have the memory of it or living it, and out of nowhere, suddenly you have this memory of going, I don't know, um, being eight and you were in the school and someone was bullying you, whatever. And you have this flash out of nowhere, which you weren't even conscious that it was there. But the amazing thing about when you do it with microdosing is that you can actually process it. It's kind of it's hard because all these things start happening and then you remember and you're like, fuck, you might cry, you might whatever happens, but then you process the emotion, you're able to process it from a different perspective, and then you move on. This is really healing because this means that you're actually going into your subconscious mind and finally connecting the dots, which when you have a trauma, for instance, the brain does something which is basically encapsulate that to protect you and just leave it there, and you can't even access to it just to protect yourself. But the problem is all these things that are encapsulated are actually affecting you, um, even though you're not conscious about it, because that's the whole point. The mind is trying to protect you from the conscious part. So when you access all this and your brain is able to get into this thought, to remember this trauma, to whatever the hell it is, for good or for bad, you need to be able to process these things, because when you do, that's when you actually heal, no? So all these subconscious things that were in the back of your mind that you couldn't access, out of nowhere you start remembering them. But when you are detoxing without using, for instance, microdose psilocybin or any of these things or plant medicine, it's a lot harder to process them. And it happens anyway. When you're detoxing, this is going to happen anyway. But the funny thing is that I was just amazed of how easily it was for me to access the thought, and and just like, yeah, maybe I would cry for a few minutes because neurotoxins do that, and then you process the thing and yeah, gone. And you change. That's how you change. That's how your mind starts processing all this stuff that no longer gonna bother you. So this is the magic about all this really well called plant medicine, and I absolutely love it. So yeah, if you don't use plant medicine, or if it doesn't resonate with you, you can actually try to do that. It's a lot harder. But say you're going through a liver cleanse, or you're detoxing from Lyme disease and all these co-infections, parasites, mold, whatever it is, you're going to go through this as well. Especially if you have neurolyme and neuroinflammation, this is something that's going to happen, because as the brain clears all this crap, um, yeah, you're gonna be able to access to certain thoughts and certain things that suddenly out of nowhere reconnect, and there you have it. It's like, whoa, a movie show that you weren't asking for, but there it is, and it's kind of tough sometimes. So it's important to be conscious about this. So when you actually take them and this starts happening, you can understand that this is what is happening, and that you can deal with it in a better way and take advantage of these healing properties, which are, I believe, the best, especially for PTSD, for anything like that that involved trauma in the past. It's gonna be immensely useful. So if you're started microdosing and out of nowhere you start remembering random things, and that makes you cry for a bit, and something like that, um, take in mind that this is actually what happens. So the best thing is to just let it go through your mind, and you're gonna realize that you're much able to process things, and that's just showing it to you, so it can be art shift, but in a conscious way, or out of it. And this is really, really, really helpful, especially with people with PTSD of any kind. And it's funny how it happens sometimes, because it really is like literally, it allows you to see the things in the the reality, let's say. No, many times when we are traumatized about what we are living, about anything, we tend to erase this and not look at reality. Let's say, for instance, your house is a mess, but you're depressed, for instance. No, uh, but you're no longer looking at your house because it's just too overwhelming for you to look. When you do this, you're gonna suddenly see the mess, and you're gonna have to face it. So you can no longer ignore all these things that you were ignoring to protect yourself either. So this is, as you can imagine, pretty hard, but at the same time really liberating. Because you're going to start to be able to function in a better way and face all these things that you were putting in one side. No, so for healing Lyme disease, this is really useful, especially in the part where you are mostly recovered but not yet, because you're going to have PTSD from all the hell you've been through as well. You're going to be scared that you can or you might fall again and all that kind of stuff. But with this, when you face reality and you're going to see it very clearly, and out of nowhere, maybe you're going to cry about having lost your friends, the time you lost, or all this. But at the same time, when you process all this, that's going to give you the energy and the new perspective, because that'll be out of your mind or your subconscious mind, to put a restart into things and start a new life. So yeah, it's like the good, the bad, and the ugly. But being able to process all these things and face them is what's going to bring you to success, let's say. No, so let's give these plants and plant medicine, fungi, the credit that it has, because this is like healing your soul, which I believe is a huge huge part, like Hammer said, of why we get sick in the first place. So if we manage to rewire all this, to face all these things, which is going to be a phase which is hard enough, that's the most healing thing that you can possibly do. There is no supplement in this earth, like no nothing that works the same way. And again, if it happens that you want to do this without using these substances, which honestly they are great help and for everyone, I believe. I mean, I just um yeah, you could possibly try to do it yourself, but when you live something this brutal, or you have immense trauma, having the help of this plant medicine is going to be a lot better for yourself, and it's going to help you a lot, because it's not going to be the same to be able to process all this or not, no, and your nervous system is going to be calmer a lot faster from it, and you'll be able to act a lot faster. So yeah, it's crazy. Just imagine that we are computers, no, and let's say it's not just for healing. I mean, imagine that you've been taught all your life that being rich is bad, that all this, and you have a program there, but you lack the program, or that allows you to have money, to have wealth, to be in peace, because it was never put there. So yeah, you have the computer going on, you have Mac OS, whatever, but you don't have the program in your subconscious mind that allows you to do that, no. So this is like reprogramming your mind. So once all these trauma parts are gone, you have to put a new program. And how you do that, apart from the same way, no, you can use all this plant medicine and many other ways, but you have to retell your subconscious mind again, okay, this program's gone, I'm installing a new one. So I need to show you over and over again through repetition, that you are able to be wealthy, that you can be like that or that you are healthy, or that whatever the hell it is. And that way there's going to be a new program created in the subconscious mind that will allow you to create that reality. If that makes any sense. I didn't explain myself really well, but comparing it to computers makes things really easy, because yeah, in the past we didn't have these examples, but now we do, and that's exactly how it works. So yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know your experiences. I'm here to help you as well. I'll see you next time.